Year 2028 AD. This is the 10th year after the outbreak of the zombie virus. My name is Jack Zwa. I am the last surviving human in this city. I am saying goodbye to my girlfriend in front of her photo. Zombies have already climbed up. I'm looking at the peaceful face of a zombie. I picked up a weapon at random and smashed the zombie's head directly. Please subscribe by clicking here after you have seen this. But at this moment, I have no way out. I could only face the incoming zombie herd alone. The next second, I was awakened by a not very harmonious voice. I looked at the teacher on the platform. I was puzzled how I returned to the classroom. The mocking laughter of classmates around me, it seems I really didn't die. I have traveled back to high school era. It's a peaceful world before the outbreak of the zombie virus. The idea of rebirth is a mystery in human evolution history. Myself from 10 years ago was so weak. Suddenly, I saw a dark shadow behind me. Is that a zombie? I instinctively smashed the glass. I picked up the glass and was about to stab towards his throat. At a critical moment, he shouted, "Jack, what are you doing?" When I took a closer look, I realized it was my good buddy Lucas Gao. I have already forgotten at the beginning of the outbreak of the zombie virus. This good buddy is dead. Immediately, I made up my mind for this life. I want to let him survive. I forgot that today is Valentine's Day. The apocalypse will start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the me from that year. Still doing stupid things to confess to school cheerleader Cherry Duan. This selfish and self-interested woman killed many people in the apocalypse, including Lucas Gao. When I think about this, Cherry Duan, holding my love letter, said I was disgusting in front of a group of classmates as if showing off. Thought of the experiences from my previous life. I immediately grabbed back the love letter and said, "Seeing you also disgusts me." At 2 p.m. this afternoon, a meteorite fell into the Earth's atmosphere. It exploded into countless fragments, falling all over the globe. The virus carried by the meteorite spread instantaneously. Those initially infected by the virus all fell into a coma. Over 70% of the human population mutated into monsters. Others who woke up resisted fiercely. Among the uninfected, some evolved various abilities. However, zombies also evolved. In the end, our home turned into hell. At this moment, Lucas Gao feels that I am very different from usual. I told her in front of the school cheerleader that she was disgusting again and mentioned something about the end of the world. He asked me, "Are you writing a novel?" I don't want to explain too much either, because the truth will surface eventually. So I threw the wallet to him. Ask him and his parents to buy more high-calorie supplements. I hope he can listen to me. And my parents died in a car accident when I was a child. The school I am in is located in a remote area and is a boarding school. Daily necessities are relatively complete. In the apocalypse, although there were heavy casualties within the school, it is much stronger than the outside world. There is a clothes factory next to the school, so it is easy to find weapons. This gives me a distinct advantage in the early stages of the apocalypse. Because it is a boarding school, the reserves of daily necessities are relatively complete. Luckily, I found a crowbar. This weapon is much more useful than the one I used in my previous life when I died. Early zombie movements are relatively slow. Just keep a good distance and you'll be fine. At this time, Cherry Duan appeared with a group of sidekicks. It's because I said she was disgusting. So she tracked down Lucas Gao to find me. Cherry Duan's boyfriend is the sports committee member in the class. Immediately, he walked forward wanting to teach me a lesson. At this moment, I am no longer as weak as in the previous life. Picking up a pry bar, I struck him on the head. Although I didn't really smash it down, I scared him so much that he collapsed on the ground. A meteorite appeared in the sky. It can be seen clearly all over the world. People all thought it was on Valentine's Day, a gift bestowed upon the earth by God. People also make wishes and take photos of the meteorite. Before falling, the meteorite exploded into countless fragments, scattered around the world. My name is Jaxwa. Cherry Duan, who was scared away by me a few minutes ago, is now complaining about her boyfriend. Failed to get things done, and got scared into a cold sweat. What a coward. The next moment, she saw a meteor streaking across the sky. Without faith, she still wonders how there can be shooting stars during the day. I watched the falling meteorite and thought to myself, the apocalypse has arrived. Beside me, Lucas Gao is muttering. He's thinking of skipping class to hide here. He might as well go to the internet cafe. The next second, a massive tremor runs through the ground. The apocalypse has begun. Due to the virus that has spread into the air, everyone is about to fall into a coma lasting for up to 20 hours. During my slumber, I dreamt of a familiar figure. Weren't you supposed to evacuate with the main force? When she turned around, it was already a familiar face. I immediately woke up and called out her name, Abby. Only then did I realize that it was just a dream. At this moment, Lucas Gao shouted, "Oh no, it's already 10 in the morning. I'm in trouble for not returning to my room at night and skipping class. I'll be punished." I said, "Don't worry, there won't be any punishment anymore." When he was still wondering why I had been acting strange since yesterday, the door slowly opened. Then a ghostly sound came from outside the door. We then saw a figure with light shining on their back standing there. Lucas Gao thought it was the teacher on duty. He was ready to start explaining to the teacher the reason for his absence. Before he approached, I disappeared on the spot. I raised my hand and struck the person down with a stick. He was so scared that he screamed. He said even if he's afraid of punishment, there's no need to kill anyone. I replied slowly, "The first rule in the survival guide is to never hesitate when encountering a zombie. Follow me with the backpack on your back. You will soon see that this world has changed." At this moment, he looked around at the monsters biting people everywhere, incredibly stunned. At the same time, a zombie also noticed us. I immediately took it down. This is not the time to be stunned. Lucas Gao tried to avoid it as much as possible. Absolutely cannot be bitten. Fortunately, I had the experience of a previous life. In this apocalypse, I am like a war god. Just as we were about to leave the school, Cherry Duan and her boyfriend came charging towards us. Close behind them are their brothers Jerry and David. But by now, they have also turned into zombies. When they are about to catch up, Cherry Duan's boyfriend turned around to block the zombies, in order to let Cherry Duan escape. I didn't intend to step on these two people. Perhaps it is fate. Cherry Duan was tripped by a stone. Immediately, a zombie pounced towards her, ready to attack. This woman is particularly bitchy. Faced with sacrificing herself to save her boyfriend, she showed not a hint of regret upon learning that he might turn into a zombie. Just now, Cherry Duan was tripped over by a rock. The moment when the zombie was about to pounce and start eating. I still can't bear to watch my classmates die in front of me. Then he chopped off the zombie's head. Cherry Duan thought I would say something to her. She put on a pitiful look and called my name, Jaxwa. I certainly won't pay attention to this kind of woman. Call Lucas Gao to follow me. Cherry Duan looks at the zombie in front and needs to follow us as well. Go back to the classroom. At this moment, the four of us are temporarily safe. It's just the body I had 10 years ago. I am already exhausted from the fierce battle just now. Resting here now to recover strength. It is wise to find an opportunity to leave the school. Cherry Duan, who can be scared by the scene of the apocalypse, keeps crying and making noise there. I am very annoyed. I shout out angrily. Cherry Duan, shut up. This also aroused the anger of her boyfriend. He came up and started scolding me. But I noticed that there was blood flowing from his hand. He said, "It's just a minor bite from David. After the meteorite fell, there is a 70% chance that the virus will turn people into zombies through the air and water transmission. But if bitten by a zombie, it's a 100% chance of becoming a corpse. This type of virus is called the Ebola virus. Cherry Duan's boyfriend doesn't believe it. But at this point, Cherry Duan is already far away. Meanwhile, Cherry Duan's boyfriend also showed signs of turning into a zombie. He walked towards Cherry Duan as if seeking solace. Cherry Duan said, "Go away, stay far away from me." The woman immediately changed her tune and refused to recognize him. He was clearly injured while trying to protect her. At this moment, there was also a deafening loud noise coming from outside. We looked outside to find out. It turned out to be the principal driving a car trying to escape. But the car went out of control and crashed into the wall. This is an opportunity for us to leave. Now it's time to deal with Cherry Duan's boyfriend issue. As long as the two of them don't follow us, it's fine. Later I will also call Lucas Gao to go with us. It's just that Cherry Duan also wants to come along. She was caught by Cherry Duan's boyfriend. She immediately shook off his hand. Cherry Duan's boyfriend wanted to say something else. But what greeted him was a knife wielded by Cherry Duan. He heard the words that left him stunned. "You can die on your own. Don't hold me back from escaping." The whole classroom fell silent. Only the silent figure of Cherry Duan's boyfriend was left standing. I and Lucas Gao rushed out of the classroom. Although the principal's office attracted a large number of zombies, but there were still a few scattered zombies along the way. I said to Lucas Gao while slashing, cutting off their heads or destroying their spines can take care of them. Just don't be soft-hearted. One of the zombies also reached out to Lucas Gao. He could only brace himself and go forward. The next second, he took the first step towards surviving the apocalypse. He was panting heavily. It is fortunate that there is someone to guide him on how to survive when the apocalypse comes. At that moment, Cherry Duan's annoying voice was heard. She abandoned her boyfriend and followed along. Immediately, I bluntly questioned, "How did you manage to follow us again?" At this moment, she could only stick out her large chest to seduce us. Lucas Gao softened again and persuaded me. Help her out, after all, she is a classmate. I agreed under Lucas Gao's persuasion. But I made 3 rules with her. If she follows along, she must listen to our commands. Would your team welcome this woman in the apocalypse? 1 second the team was trying their best to move forward. The next second, she was sowing discord among the team's relationships. At this moment, the 3 of us have already reached the school gate. But there is a large group of zombies at the gate. It's too dangerous to force our way through. I immediately decided to have one person go and turn on the radio. Then the zombies will move towards the sound. Only by doing this can we have a chance to escape. Lucas Gao is very worried about me being alone. I told him not to worry. The zombies in the early stages of the apocalypse posed no threat to me. Lucas Gao and Cherry Duan were left behind. This was because Cherry Duan had just lost her boyfriend. She has started looking for a new man again. Just now, Cherry Duan was scolded by me. She is harboring resentment now. Then she came up with twisted thoughts of ruining the relationship between me and Lucas Gao. The next moment, she pressed her large chest against Lucas Gao's chest. Lucas Gao's face turned red. He heard Cherry Duan speak ill of me. Jack Zwa is so scary, full of threats and violence. Lucas, you are a good person, be careful of Jack Zwa. Lucas Gao, who was touching Cherry Duan's chest, replied, I am a good person, but not foolish. Don't speak ill of Jack while he is fighting for us. The corridor is full of zombies. I threw an empty can to distract them. Arrived at the broadcasting room. And as I was thinking about which key is used to start the broadcast, a zombie suddenly appeared behind me. Caught off guard, I was pushed down onto the table. This zombie is very strong. It should be semi-evolved. I didn't expect it to evolve so quickly. I don't have virus resistance. I can't let it bite me. At a critical moment, I found a stick beside me. I picked it up and stabbed towards the zombie's head. I was breathing heavily at this moment. I didn't expect there to be a zombie in the broadcasting room. If it weren't for the stick, I would have been done for. But how did the stick get here? Looking around, I found a photo. This zombie should have been a sweet-voiced senior female student at the broadcasting station before turning into a zombie. In my mind, I could see an image of her knitting a sweater for her loved one on Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, this world has changed. Not long after, loud music started playing on the playground, attracting the zombies to climb up eagerly one after another. Lucas Gao saw that I succeeded on my end. Brought Cherry Duan to the front gate. The locked gate was also broken open by him with a fire axe, just waiting for me to come out. At this moment, a school bus came head-on. Cherry Duan wanted to walk with Lucas Gao, but Lucas Gao refused. He was determined to wait for me. School director urged repeatedly, and Cherry Duan ran towards the school bus alone and began to sow discord. She told the school director that she saw Jack Zwa committing murder, and she wants to lock the school gate to prevent the monster from running out. She also said, "Don't let everyone suffer because of that crazy Jack Zwa." The school director also agreed with this suggestion. Lucas Gao was also angry. He said, "Cherry Duan, you are indeed a two-faced and ungrateful person. My name is Jack Zwa. In an apocalypse, would you choose to act with the majority of people or with a small team?" At that moment, Cherry Duan and the school director were shocked by Lucas Gao's determination. The classmates in the car looked over to see. The school director could only say, "You will have your credits deducted and receive a severe reprimand." The school bus then rumbled away. Lucas Gao thought the matter was ending. A hand reached out from behind, grabbed Lucas Gao with tremendous force. It was a female zombie. But at this moment, Lucas Gao was already pinned under her. He could only struggle to resist her wide-open mouth with a fire axe. Just as Lucas Gao was about to exhaust his strength, the female zombie's head was chopped off. Lucas Gao only saw me slowly appear in front of him. I am also grateful that if I had arrived one step later, it would have been a final farewell. On our way to find a safe spot, we found out that the school bus was heading to the city. Driving such a big vehicle into the city during the apocalypse, it's like asking for death. And this car wasn't reborn before the apocalypse. A classmate who concealed his injuries suddenly turned into a zombie. It also caused a car accident at that time. We rushed out of the car in a panic. The commotion from the car accident attracted many people turning into zombies. We could only run for our lives at that time. In the end, Lucas Gao got a leg injury and ran slowly. Was locked outside by Cherry Duan. Lucas Gao knew he couldn't run with his leg and told me to escape on my own first. At that moment, the cowardly me just left my friend and ran away on my own. When I came to my senses, Lucas Gao was handing me a piece of bread. Looking at him now, it seems like God did not want me to have any regrets. Not long after, we arrived at the auto repair shop run by Lucas Gao's relatives. It seems like there are no living people in this area. After going in, I called Lucas Gao to lock the doors and windows. Then I carefully checked the inside of the house and rummaged through it. I asked Lucas Gao about his plans after that. He wants to go back to City G to look for his parents. I will go with you. But we need to go to the city area to find someone before we go. Lucas Gao jokingly asked if it was a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend now. When did this happen? I laughed. Lucas Gao, you really are an optimist. After nightfall, zombies are wandering the streets, randomly banging on the doors of different houses. As long as they don't have a clear target, the doors cannot be knocked down. Next, it was time for me to pass on the experiences from my previous life to Lucas Gao. I mentioned that in reality, we are just like those monsters. We have all been infected by a virus, and this virus triggers genetic mutations. The vast majority of people experience genetic breakdown during the mutation process and become monsters. But a few people can resist this mutation. They can even control it. By controlling the evolved, our physical fitness can be greatly improved. It can even evolve virus resistance. Now I will teach you breathing training. Can speed up evolved? We need to at least evolve resistance to viruses first. Follow the breathing rhythm. Calm your mind and feel your whole body. If there is a tingling sensation in the body, it is caused by latent viruses. You need to control them. Viruses will gradually gather in a certain part of your body. The gathering place represents the direction of your future evolution. Similar to before being reborn. The place I evolved is the palm of my hand. After gathering, viruses will form patterns on the palm. So, as an evolver like me, the palm lines belong to the balance evolve. Strengthening the body's qualities is very even. So, every aspect is moderate. In simple terms, it means loser. But there's nothing wrong with that. Because this time, I have an absolute advantage. Being held tightly by your brother while sleeping. How do you feel when you wake up? My name is Jaxwa. I am currently in the city center. In front of me is my previous life girlfriend desperately running, while I am behind her being chased by countless zombies. Abby twisted her foot while running. We are looking at the zombie herd that is about to catch up. I immediately picked her up to continue running. In life and death, she told me not to worry about her. You can definitely make it out on your own. Don't talk nonsense. I will take you to survive. I will make it happen. Misfortunes never come singly. The bridge we were on unexpectedly broke. The zombies behind us are about to catch up. I had no choice but to jump over. But the distance was still a little short. I thought we were about to fall together. Abby behind me pushed with all her might, pushing me to the other side. And she fell down as well. I cried out her name in powerlessness. I suddenly woke up. It turns out it was all just a dream. I felt like I was being pressed down by something. Looking down, it was Lucas Gao. He was still drooling. I exclaimed in surprise. What are you doing? From now on, you are not allowed to sleep in the same room as me. I will head to the city center as soon as it's light out. Lucas Gao is very worried. But that person is too important to me. I didn't see any zombies outside. It's time to set off. Before I leave, I ask Lucas Gao to be careful on his own. Don't let anyone in. Remember, it's anyone. After Lucas Gao found out, my motorcycle roared out. I didn't tell Lucas Gao. The one I went to find was my lover Abby from my previous life. She is the most important person in my life. But at this moment, she and I are just two strangers. Found a convenience store in the city center. I sighed that it had been 10 years. I couldn't even remember the way to find her. Just then, a can caught my attention. Following that were two zombies. I pulled out a pry bar and swung it around wildly. I easily killed the two zombies. Just then, there came a cry. Are there still survivors here? I followed the direction of the sound and saw 6 zombies surrounding a car. Inside the car, a mother and her daughter were being attacked by the zombies. The next second, the car window was broken. Luckily, the zombie was stuck by the car door. Just then, I grabbed the zombie that was about to bite the mother and daughter. I casually threw the zombie against the wall. Accelerated evolution through breathing training. The zombie was heavily embedded in the wall. I then killed one with a stick. Then I kicked it, and another one flying with one kick. Finding the police during an apocalypse would be useful. Then we won't need a protagonist. How long would you survive if you were the protagonist? My name is Jaxwa. Just now, I rescued 2 people who were surrounded by zombies. When I kicked the zombie away, I clearly felt that both my strength and responsiveness had improved. Awakened to be a step ahead. Even the balance evolver is extremely dominant in the early stages of the apocalypse. Deal with the remaining zombies. I told the two people that it's not safe here. We must leave immediately. Because I know what's going on here. It's definitely going to attract the attention of the zombies. I said there is a supermarket ahead, let's hide there. The two of them could only leave with worry and reluctance. The evolved tattoo began to take shape. The basic ability of balance evolver gradually appeared. At the same time, the sensing ability has also improved. I am pouring gasoline onto the car. I also feel the zombie coming. The two people waiting for me at the supermarket are worried because I haven't returned for a long time. They are worried that there might be danger on my side. They came to check on me while carrying a kitchen knife. The danger is not me but the zombies. They saw me casually throwing a cigarette at the car. The next second, there was a loud bang. Under their terrified eyes, the zombies died collectively. I, however, was curious. Didn't I ask you to hide in the supermarket? After returning to the supermarket, I asked the girl if she was your mother. The girl replied, "No, she is my older sister." Jaxwa felt that the girl's older sister looked a bit too mature. At the same time as I returned the found teddy bear to the girl. The girl expressed her desire for me to become her sister-in-law. Her sister happens to not have a boyfriend. I blushed and said, "Children, don't talk nonsense." As we eat and drink in the supermarket, the older sister, filled with guilt, said, "This belongs to theft." I said, "Just put it back. Anyway, if you don't take it, someone else will." Then older sister revealed some news that caught my attention. She is a teacher at Star Female School. I quickly asked her if she knew Abby. She sadly told me that she is Abby's school director. The school had regular classes yesterday. She might still be at the school. Don't worry. Abby is very smart and will be fine. Then she kissed me as a gesture of thanks and goodbye. The girl who was listening nearby was not happy, insisted on following me. Seeing the little girl crying nonstop, my heart softened and I agreed. But I am riding a motorcycle. It's not convenient for 3 people. We need to find a car first. I casually found a car on the road and was about to unlock it. I was stopped by my older sister. She said, "This kind of behavior is considered stealing a car, which is very wrong. If you want to find Abby, it would be better to go to the police station. It's too dangerous in school." Ironically, a fully armed police zombie walked towards us at this moment. I asked her, "Is the police officer you mentioned him?" I also asked the teacher, "May I ask for your surname?" I found out that this innocent teacher's surname is Luo. Teacher Luo, the world has already moved beyond your imagination.